Hi guys, James at Bespoke Airsoft here, and we're looking at a little bit of a controversial product that we've put up on our Facebook page over the past few days, and it's the S&T M249 Sportline. So yeah, an M249, when we posted it up, not a lot of people understood where we were coming from with this product. People just thought we were being silly about a 249, you know, what's so special about this 249? This is a product from S&T. It's something that's been around on the Japanese market for a short period of time now, and for all intents and purposes, that's the way you've got to look at it. So this being the S&T M249 Sportline, this is a polymer M249, hence the Sportline, but it's something that when I was told about this, I think I probably reacted the same way that many of you would, that you'd be like, a 249 that's plastic, I'm not looking forward to this. And then when it was sort of put in front of me and the guys that distribute S&T were saying sort of like, this is the new product from S&T, I was like, okay. You pick it up, it doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. It's actually kind of, although it's much lighter than an average 249, it doesn't feel cheap at all, which was the first surprising feature that I thought was great with this. The second thing is the price. Now, an FN Herstal licensed 249 made by A&K, so it's not even like the Classic Army ones. It's weird is the A&K ones, which are the copy of the Classic Army, are now more expensive than the Classic Army ones. It just makes no sense. You know, you're sort of looking at about 450 quid for one of those. I mean, they do many variants. You can get Mark 46s with M4 stocks. You can get them in tan, you can get them in black, you can get them in long barrel, short barrel, long stock, loads of different bits and pieces. So they do have many options to choose from. But let's say you want to run a 249, I don't know, you struggle with your back, you can't really lift much weight for very long on a game day. This might be for you. If you're new to the sport, this might be for you, because this product comes in at below £230 retail, which I think is absolutely phenomenal for what it is. And to get the boring stuff out of the way first, of course, this is a polymer 249. Everything on this is polymer apart from the internal working parts, being the gearbox, the motor, the inner barrel, the outer barrel's metal as well. Part of the carry handle is metal. The fixtures and fittings like the screws and the pins are also metal. There's a metal bar on the back of the stock here. There's just various components. Charging handles metal as well. Latch to release the barrel is metal. So there's a lot of metal components on here, but the majority of this thing is made out of polymer. So we have, let's go back to front like we normally do. We've got a para style stock which can be pulled. Do it here, out like that, rotate it clockwise and it locks into place. You've also got a shoulder latch here that you can push up and sort of rest it on the top of your shoulder. So this is great if you want to engage it, if you're firing from a fixed position, you can extend it, get a bit of a hold on the rifle itself, and then when you want to run and gun or you want to transport the thing during a game, you can lock it back down and it makes the gun nice and small again. Polymer body, polymer grip. And yes, this gun uses a version 2 gearbox. So you've got a version 2 gearbox in here, and then the motor is housed in the grip itself. This gun can only fire fully automatic, so it doesn't have a semi-automatic firing mode. Safety's found just above the trigger here, so it's safe and obviously fire. We've got an adjustable rear sight here. We've got a 20mm Picatinny rail on the top here for fitting your red dots and your optics. You know, you got a polymer handguard here, polymer rail system, polymer bipod, which is included as well, which locks into this little wrist attachment here. So you can put your grips on, your tap lights, your lasers, anything like that. You've got a 14mm counterclockwise thread on the barrel here, so you fit in your different flash hiders and your suppressors and stuff you can do. If you are fitting chunky suppressors, what you might have to do is just remove this bit off the front here so it can sit up, because you might foul this if you're using like a stubby thick suppressor. Metal charging handle pieces here with a polymer grip on it, very nice and sturdy. It locks into multiple different positions, so you can have it up, you can have it to the side, you can have it down out the way, you can also have it across the top out the way as well. Included in the box with the gun is a 300 round M4 high capacity magazine, which fits into the side much like other 249s like the Classic Armies and the A&Ks. Classic Army and the A&K box mags will fit this, it slots into the section on the bottom here, and then the feed tube and such just clicks into place in there. But it also accepts all AEG M4 magazines. I'm slurring my words now, haven't even had a drink today. The barrel assembly is a quick detach and can come off by pressing this lever, and it just slides off the front, which we'll be looking at in a moment on the TDC. Pushing up the top cover here, we have obviously the gearbox, the hop unit here. We also have space for batteries and stuff. We can fit them alongside the gearbox, we can fit them in the back. And this is something you can't really do on like an A&K or Classic Army M249 because the gearbox takes up so much space. I've even managed to fit a 2600 7.4 in the top of the cover here, doing a lot of finger gymnastics getting that into place, but it's very easy to get the batteries in there and fitted. And the major plus side to this gun, like I said before, is it is lighter than your full metal 249s, but not so light that it feels like it's weightless. It's got a nice weight to it. I think it's about 3.5 kilos roughly, so it's nice and pointable. I can actually hold the grip, which I probably couldn't do for long on an A&K or Classic Army 249. This would be killing my arms by now. But you've got the adjustability there. So for newer players, for younger players, for older players that can't carry a lot of weight, as we get older guys, we struggle with weight, we struggle with our backs and stuff, so this is going to be a lot easier for you if you're lugging it around on a Milsim event. You don't want to carry all that extra weight. Something like this is very, very light and agile. I believe they're going to be coming out with different variants depending on the success of this one, but it has been very successful in Japan, which is why this gun only comes at about 300 to 310 feet per second. But the M4 gearbox does have a quick spring change, so it's literally changing out your spring, you push the spring guide in, twist it, pull the spring out, put another one in, and job's done and away you go. Comes wired to a mini Tamiya out the box, but switching it over to Dean's will be no problem at all. Put that back in there. So let's get the look on the TDC at this thing a little bit more closely. I mean, look at it from afar, you probably wouldn't really all tell that too much that it's made of polymer, and it does feel rigid, it does feel high quality compared to a lot of other plastic guns on the market. Some of like the Cybergun M4s and stuff feel very, very plasticky and light. This doesn't have that, so we'll get the TDC set up, we'll get a close look at this thing, and then we'll get to the chrono and the rate of fire test, I suppose. So another gun I'm going to struggle to get in frame here. This is the S&T M249, which we have been sort of leaking on the Facebook and stuff recently. Many of you didn't really understand what this was, what we were trying to put across, but like I said earlier, plastic M249, it's not like an ABS plastic, it's like a resin polymer, like sturdy, rigid polymer style material. You got a 300 round M4 high cap in the box, and this is the 249. So the main plus thing about this model is the fact of how light it is and how inexpensive it is. 249s are getting more expensive today than they've ever been. Some of the FN Herstal licensed ones, which to be honest don't really have any markings on them compared to the usual A&K standard models. You're sort of looking at 400 or 450 pound upwards, and this comes in at 229. Obviously there's a few differences, of course, but for the most part the aesthetic look exactly the same. If you was looking at this from a distance, you would not sort of struggle to understand what this is. It does have a normal style feed port for the magazine, so your box mags, like your A&K style box mags, will still clip in here and the feed tube will clip in, and that'll work just fine. The big box mags, the small box mags, they'll all fit this as long as it's the same type of fitment, the Classic Armies and the A&Ks. So this is completely polymer, apart from obviously the internal workings of the gun itself and the outer and inner barrel that go the full length of the front of the gun here. Everything else is pretty much polymer. Again, apart from fixings like screws and pins and stuff and things that structurally need to be metal. levers and other bits and pieces. So this gun will only shoot full auto. You have a safety just above the trigger, safe and fire. This is the para version, so it has the sliding out stock where you pull the stock outwards. We extend it here. I'm going to fail at life now. Let's hold it a bit better. So you pull the stock out all the way, put it out a little bit further and rotate it clockwise, and then the stock sits in place. For its construction, it's fairly rigid. I mean, 249 para stocks, even the A&K and the classic armies, they have a bit of movement just because of how the mechanism works, and it's secured in by 2 pins just there. To retract the stock again, you also have an arm, like a shoulder brace on the back of the stock as well. Not that much that you need in this 249 compared to the metal ones, but to retract it, you just pull the stock, turn it anti-clockwise, and then collapse the stock. And this is probably how most people would use it anyway, firing from fixed positions or just trying to bring it up as much into your eyesight as possible. It is much easier on this thing, the Classic Army and the A&K models, just because of the weight. It's about 3.5 kilos. I think I'll have to get a scale out and measure that, but the top cover comes off just like a normal one would. You've got 2 latches at the back here. You can press that and up it comes. And this is where you'll see like more differences. It's a standard M4 style gearbox with a quick spring change to a Tamiya connector, and you've got a normal motor housed in the pistol grip. So it's kind of like an M4 in disguise really, but built into a support gun platform. These out the box are doing about 300 to 310. They are a product that was made for the Japanese, predominantly the Japanese market, which is why they're a little bit lower. But with this quick spring change on the back, it literally takes a couple of seconds to swap that out and get that power back up to like the 350 or the 370 mark if you're in the UK. What this does mean is all the aftermarket parts are really easy to find. Nozzles, tappet plates, things like that. I'm not sure about the nozzle because it's going to be a little bit longer than a usual M4, so we'll have to measure that. But cylinders, pistons, gears, motor, it's all version 2, so the world is your oyster in terms of upgrade parts. If you want to go rapid with this thing and fire and fit DSGs and have it firing silly, you can do. Not that you need to, but fitting the battery, you can obviously fit like a small blocky type battery in the back here. You can also fit like nunchuck style 7.4s down the sides. They'll actually fit down here. Let me see if I've got one to hand actually so I can show you. You'll see it's like a slim stick lipo, and it literally just fits down the side of the gearbox, nice and easy. Nothing snagging. You plug your connector in. So this is on a Dean's, but plug your connector in, pop your wires in, you've got loads of space there, it's easy to do. So this is something you can't do on usual 249s because obviously the gearbox is so big you can't fit the batteries in the same part as where the gearbox is. Now this one is a 1500 milliamp like thin walled 7.4 lipo. I have managed to almost fit a 2600 in the top cover here because you've got all this space. I got it in there once, and then after that I did struggle to get it in again, but it is doable. You just have to have a bit of finger gymnastics in there to get that thing in and working. 20mm rail on the top, also polymer, fitting all your optics, your red dot sights. You've got working rear iron sight here, which is elevation adjustable and windage. You can also fit the faux bullet loops in here if you want to, if you're using a box mag. Push that back down, locks into place nice and easy. Moving forward, we've got a carry handle which you can flip up into multiple positions, and you can hold the gun fairly well with this this handle. Very easy. Top cover, much like a conventional 249, fits into the front sight post and then clips down onto the outer barrel being metal. We can also do a quick detach on this, so if we can pull this lever, and the front barrel assembly will come out. And if you did want to front wire it, obviously you could if you wanted to run a battery in there, but obviously with the amount of space you've got in the back, you might as well use it. You've got a polymer rail section on here for fitting your grips and your tap lights, your lasers, anything like that. The bipod is also polymer and clips into this little wrist attachment on the rail. The barrel assembly, this is all metal here, and then the only polymer parts, flash hider, the top cover and the front iron sight post. The flash hider is a 14mm counterclockwise thread, so a lot of accessories will fit this. What I would be doing if I was running one of these is I'd probably remove this, as well, and then I'd run like a nice chunky suppressor on there, perhaps to dull the noise down a little bit because it's quite loud. See the hop up here? Rotary style hop unit with a brass barrel. And this clicks into place only one way. So then putting this back into the gun, it's very easy. Line it all up and it locks back into place. Carry handle you can fold down there so it doesn't get in the way. So this will accept all M4 AG style magazines. I've put mid caps in this. They do feed a lot better than high cap because obviously high cap you have to keep winding. Flash mags, they all go in here. We're going to probably try and do something cool with the Surefire long style mags, a bit like the Winter Soldier in Avengers. Do something like that. But overall you can see, when I was first told about this platform, you know, you got the polymer M249 coming out from S&T, and I was probably on the same sort of wavelength as many of you, as thinking, but why? I didn't really understand why they were doing it until I saw it, and then as soon as you see it and you pick it up, you're kind of like, whoa, this is actually pretty cool for a polymer gun. It's probably one of the only polymer guns that I'd run alongside premium guns like the Evos and other bits and pieces which are polymer anyway. But I was delightfully surprised with this product from S&T. You know, a small little 1200 round box mag's going to fit on here really, really nice, or you can use them big Surefire mags or any M4 mag for instance. But if you've got an M4, which a lot of players do have, so you do have a lot of these knocking around and you wanted to use something like this to put loads of fire down, and you've got like, I don't know, 7 or 10 of these knocking around, you know, you're not going to go out and buy an expensive mag. They can just plug them straight in, as well as M249s have this ability where they can use M4 mags. So anyone on the field, your buddy's got a spare mag and you're out of ammo, you can plug it straight in. We'll get to the chrono test now. I obviously did this ahead of time because I put it up on our Facebook page on the YouTube, but on a 7.4 PEC box LiPo, this gun was firing at about 15 rounds a second. On a 11.1 20C LiPo, which is the one I usually use on the show, it was doing about 26 rounds a second. It was firing absolutely beautifully. What you will see from the chrono in just a moment is that when I was firing with the 11.1 LiPo, it was firing that quick that when I'm doing the rate of fire test, and it's very consistent 26 rounds a second, just be aware that when that FPS chart bumps up and down, it's not a low reading, it's just the chrono struggling to read the FPS on the amount of rounds that's coming out at one time. This on average is about 300 to 310, but we can do a swap with that spring change if we wanted to. So we'll get to that and then we'll get back on camera. So yeah, you know, 300 to 310, you're legal for all sights pretty much in the UK. Obviously you're not going to be doing CQB with this thing because it only fires full auto, but for your woodland engagements and such, it's going to be great. If you've got younger players, say if you've got, you know, sons or daughters that want to go along and they want to get into like a support gun role, This is going to be perfect for them. They're going to have no trouble carrying this, unlike a lot of other platforms on the market. For you older guys that's probably suffer with your back, or you can't really hack much weight on your arms anymore for whatever reason, perfect for you guys as well. And the biggest plus side of this gun, let's face it, it's lower than 230 quid, 229.99. They're available on the website right now, www.bespokeairsoft.co.uk. Plenty of them in stock. As far as I'm aware, we're the only people to have this in stock at the moment. So this is an absolute mind-bending deal. You know, $229.99, you can have a 249 sport gun. Yes, it doesn't come with the box mag, but you're getting it at less than half the price, you know, of a full-up 249, whether it's from Classic Army or A&K. Like I said, A&K are getting more and more expensive these days, which is very weird, because Classic Armies were always the premium and A&Ks were the clones. But now it seems to have gone the other way. It's very, very strange. So, I mean, I've enjoyed this. The rate of fire on 11.1 is perfect. Obviously, you've got to understand that running these guns on 11.1, you're going to have the added wear and tear that 11.1 gives you. You're also going to have to be careful, because the way this spits out rounds, if you get a blockage in the barrel and you don't realise and you're firing that thing on 11.1, there's a good chance you'll take out your piston. If the pistons are damaged because of like a blockage in the barrel, it's not something that's covered under warranty, but if it's a manufacturer's fault or anything like that, of course, we'll look after you. $229.99, I can't believe this. I mean, there's many guys that I occasionally go airsofting with. A few of them have like thought about getting a 249, but you know, it's a big investment, you know, 450 quid in at least, and then there's so many models, and then they tend to be out of stock quite a lot as well. And a few of them have said they're going to have a look at this platform just because of how versatile and cheap it is. They could, if they're predominantly running M4s or AKs or whatever platforms, recoils, Evos, whatever, this isn't such a massive investment for them if they want to have a little bit of a go with it. And we will be getting many box mags and stuff in soon as well. They will accept any M4 AEG style magazine. I've tried high caps, I've tried flash mags, I've tried mid caps. All feeds just fine. You know, if you've got a weak mid cap or a not so good high cap, you will struggle if you run it on 11.1 for it to keep up. But for the magazine that came with it, for mid caps that I've tried, PTS mags, I've even tried the new Prol N mags, I've tried King Arms mags, I've tried GMP mags, and they've all fed perfectly fine 11.1 from start to finish. Not that you're going to be running mid caps with this gun, because you're going to want as much ammo as you possibly can. And someone put on our post the other day about them working on a backpack magazine, which I have got to get my hands on, because that thing looks absolutely awesome. So like I said, if you don't want to invest a hell of a lot of money to get into the sport gun sort of platform, this is going to be perfect for yourselves. We've got these in stock at the moment. They're a hot seller. Between now and the next batch that we get, it might be a bit of a wait, so if you do want one, make sure you jump on straight away. You can find them, go onto the Bespoke Airsoft website, there'll be a banner with it on, they'll be in the bottom of the hot sellers section, so it'll be easy enough to find. We've got gun cases and stuff for these as well. So, hope you've enjoyed this 249. I've had an absolute blast with it. We haven't done a 10-metre accuracy test with this thing just because I think it's absolutely pointless. This thing is designed to put a load of rounds down range, keep people's heads down so your buddies can move up and take the objective. But we may do more videos, we may do range tests if you guys want it. So let us know in the comments down below. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification. We've got loads of videos coming up. We've got loads of Tokyo Marui stuff. I'm looking at the M249 long, the new DOR high capper, the Glock 19. We've taken a look back at another legendary TM pistol which I had a lot, you know, for a long time, which was the FN57. Can't wait to look at that again. We've got the King Arms new revolvers, as well as the Evil revolver that comes in that category, just like the SAA revolvers that they did. They've done this new line of 357 Pythons, and they've got hop-ups fitted out of the box, which is good. We've got the new King Arms MP5 M4 hybrid kind of AGs. We've got an S&T M4A1 with a 203 launcher that comes in at less than 150 quid. What else have we got? We've got the new A&K S.47 recoil from Tokyo Marui, which we're going to be having a look at as well. Armourer Works pistols, you name it, we've got it coming up on the show. Just bear with me because I've got a lot to do. Thanks for tuning into this review. Hope you've enjoyed the S&T M249 Sportsline like I have. It's been absolutely superb. and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.